hello and welcome to yet another edition of Time Pass. It's not just Time Pass, we're doing serious stuff here, so please note. Today we have two wonderful guests, Ritu Dalmia, who I've known for the longest time. She's a wonderful host, a superb chef, and a great raconteur. And Nikate Khaitan, who I've just recently met virtually and a fascinating is into all sorts of very interesting therapies, but today he's going to focus on sound therapy with us. So I'm going to start with Ritu because I think we're all currently obsessed with food, and I think we're in the middle of this culinary renaissance. I think everyone thinks that they've become a chef. So Ritu, what do you think here in this lockdown? You got away from Italy just in time. Let me talk a little about that.
Correct.
Right? You got away just in time from your restaurant.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not so sure if it was such a good idea or not, because the reality is the lockdown is a lot harsher in India than it is in Italy at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, I'm right now, believe it or not, I got away from Italy, but then I managed to get myself stuck in Goa.
Okay.
And I would like to complain about it in spite of the fact there's been no supplies in Goa. As I'm sure you guys have all heard, it's one state which had no supply for weeks and weeks. But I have to admit, I'm still grateful to God. At least, I have fresh air around me and I have reinvented myself. The best thing that could have happened to me, which I'm sure is happening to everyone around the country, is that you are no longer cooking according to a recipe. You're cooking now based on what's available. Exactly. And that really has been a humbling lesson for me. So it's really been an amazing journey. The beginning of lockdown was making all fancy food because the fridges were still stocked up.
Right.
So I was doing a camembert souffle one day. I was doing a risotto. And then second week onwards, the things started changing slightly. Third week onwards, I was stealing jackfruit from neighbors' trees and making jackfruit curry, stealing green mangoes and making panna out of it. And now it has come to a point where I don't want fancy ingredients anymore. Right. I really have come, and I'm really, as I said, maybe the whole world was put into COVID, so I could learn to cook with what was available rather than what's not. But no, it's been as I said, it's been a great journey. And Kaveri, you said that you know me for a while and an amazing restaurateur, but I think that post will not be good anymore post the lockdown, because I think there will be so many new chefs who will come out of this lockdown. Many of them who must have cooked so much food which they never did in the past. Yeah. And you will see a lot of these new standalone restaurants coming with chefs who learned how to cook during the lockdown.
So you're quite hopeful of the restaurant business coming back? But
no, I'm not. I'm not. But you see, this loneliness, this solitude, this time to reflect has made me more acceptable to the situation. So I'm not sitting and crying tears anymore. But I don't know how to explain to you. I think the world will change. We all know the world will change. And the sad part is restaurants, for Indians especially, is not a necessity. Yeah. It is a luxury. It is a serious luxury. So sooner or later, people will go out, but a lot will change. A lot will change. People will no longer go to crowded restaurants. People are going to be very scared about the hygiene levels at the restaurant, who are the people behind the restaurant, how it's been cooked. So it's not looking very bright at the moment. Restaurants are, in fact, the last lot of people, hospitality in general, to recover. But as I said, these 5 weeks has done my aura and my level of calm a lot of good. So I'm okay. I will take each step as it comes.
In a way, Ritu, doesn't it remind you of your growing up years? Because Sorish was telling me about how you grew up with uncles smuggling in cheeses and all sorts of exotic things. Because we grew up in a time of complete frugality, didn't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Frugality, and also we grew up in a time where India was a closed country. Foreign goods were something sold in Palika Bazaar in Calcutta. in AC Market in AC Market in
In
Calcutta,
Calcutta,
Palika
Palika
Bazaar in
in
Delhi,
Delhi. Yeah.
and that Hira Panna in
In
Mumbai. That's where
Bombay.
you went
Yeah.
to buy smuggled olive oil and cheeses which had been lying in the refrigerator for 3 years, 4 years. No one gave a shit, and you just took what came your way.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I think it's going to happen again, not because we are a closed country, but also for me, when I go back, whenever the lockdown ends and when I'm able to go back to Delhi, we will have to relook at all our menus all again, especially the Italian restaurants,
Right.
because I don't think fresh supplies of cheese, olive oil, etc., is going to come back in a hurry.
Yeah.
So it really will finally, like I said, a lot of things we had already made it local, like the vegetables, meat,
Yeah.
fish, everything was sustainable, locally grown, but few things which were absolute necessity and will still remain,
Hmm.
like parmesan, aged parmesan, good salami, good parma ham. I think it'll be something which will be long time before we see it back on the menu. So one has to put a creative hat on now and to see how you can still have an Italian menu without messing around with the authenticity of it, without using any imported products.
Right. So in a way, the world is forcing us to become zero carbon. Whether we like it or not.
Yes,
We're eating local. We're eating seasonal.
yes.
We're eating whatever we get, and we're making do with that.
And can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something good in it
Yeah.
because I've been here for 5 weeks. I'm not a very healthy human being in general, but I have never felt better. My
Right.
blood sugar is completely in control. I've never, like I said, physically, I have never been in a better shape than I have been in last 5 weeks. And the only reason or the only thing I can pin it down to is that I'm only eating local and fresh food. I am not like every meal is cooked. It's no longer about meal cooked and you eat it tomorrow because I'm so bored. So there is no other occupational therapy. So cooking a meal has become my day's highlight. So I'm eating fresh food and I'm eating local food. And as I said, I want a refund from all the spas and the wellness places I've been to over in all these years, because have done a better detox by just eating clean than I've ever done.
Great. What are the things that you can tell us today, Ritu? Because our viewers are, I think mostly vegetarian. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
wonderful.
I'm not sure, but I think basically, I think everyone wants to know what do you do with what you have around you. How do you make a nice, simple but wonderful meal, a nourishing meal?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you, many interesting things have happened in the
Yeah,
last days.
yeah,
I had a lot of pasta packets lying with me here.
right,
Okay. But there were no nice vegetables. There was no asparaguses, no blue cheeses, no sage leaves, etc. And then I remembered in Italy, in the south, they used to make a pasta with loki. I
oh,
never ordered it. I never ate it because for me it was really beneath me to eat a pasta with loki. I had no choice and I made it and it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. So
oh,
today it does not matter whether you want to do Italian, you want to do Indian, you want to do Asian. You
right,
can do anything and everything with what's available.
right.
So for example, the other day I made a handwo. Okay, I love Gujarati food. I'm a closeted Gujarati in my heart, not a Marwari.
Don't
And
say that.
I know, but it's true. I love the food. And the thing is, handwo needs uh, carrots, it
Right.
needs cauliflower, it needs bottle gourd.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and those were the days when none of it was available because vegetables were not available.
Right.
So I had made some sprouts at home. I
Right.
put lots of sprouts in it. I used a canned tin of corn.
Uh-huh.
Okay, mashed it a little bit, added that,
Right.
and should have not put onions in it since it's a Jain food, but I still put onions, and it was still amazing. So I didn't need the carrot, I didn't need
Right.
the cabbage, which is very easily available, but in those days it was not available to me.
Right.
And this morning, in fact, let's see if I still have an avocado left. So I
Yeah.
will do something for you.
Yes.
uh, Avocado, I
Yeah.
mean, luxury.
Yes.
So first,
Supposed to
yesterday was
be.
the first day in the market when an avocado with the 3 4 pieces, not very nice looking,
Right.
but it was an emotional moment. So I said, no, I will buy it. I cut it open. It was disgusting. There was no way I could have made guacamole out of it, which was
Right.
on my head. So what I did was I blended it with dahi.
Uh-huh.
I added a little bit of seasoning, little bit of lemon juice,
Right.
and added an egg white, and I set it as a mousse.
Oh,
Okay, so it came because it was not ripe enough to be made into a guacamole, and obviously it had been lying in the cold storage for way too long. So
right.
even leaving it outside would not have ripened it.
Right.
But when you make a mousse out of it, it didn't matter.
Right.
So it's really been interesting times, you know. So also, like I said, went back to my Calcutta memories. One day made Lake Kaludam, and this is one thing I want to tell to all your viewers.
Yeah.
You know, this is an amazing time to go back to the food that you grew up with, because we all are living in a time when we all want to do the so-called exotic food or foreign food or something which has a factor. But in this process, over the years, what we have forgotten is the food that we grew up with,
Right.
because that's something we started taking for granted. But the reality is today it is getting less and less cooked in any of our homes. So
Right.
for me, the most fun part has been making aloo posto, which I've never done in my life before,
Huh.
because I remember it from making the lake ka aloo dum, which the puchka walas used to sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I made aloo pethe ki sab. So a lot of food, which for Calcutta people may be an everyday food, but for me was something of my memory from 30 years, 35 years ago.
Right.
So I think for all people who are there in Calcutta or any part, what is a great time right now for you guys to do is to take on food that you think is time consuming,
Yeah.
because your Maharajas used to make it or your grandmothers used to make it. But the reality is all this food requires the minimal ingredients
Yes.
and all ingredients which are so easily available.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so Lebanese is another great thing which I love to cook in these days, because all I need is a bengan
Yeah.
to roast it over a fire.
Right.
I don't, there's no tahina available. Who cares? Who needs tahina?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have sesame seed, just roast it and make a paste of it yourself. You will never spend money on a ready-made tahina bottle ever again, because
Again.
the homemade tahina is so much nicer. So
Right.
baba ghanoush is, and hummus, just chickpea, again tahina paste made yourself. Falafels, I've been making a lot of falafel, because as I said, when the days when I had no vegetables,
Yeah.
which was for about 11 days, my
Yeah.
main diet was only dry food like rice, lentils, legumes, etc. So you had to think of something interesting to come up with
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
So I still remember, I mean, one day, like we all know sabudana ki khichdi,
Yeah.
and we also know dahi bhat.
Right.
That day I had no rice, so I made a dahi bhat but with sabudana, and
Ooh.
I just put some fried green chilies which you use for the mirchi vada,
Right.
you know, just but fried it the Spanish way, like a padron pepper, and
Right.
added that on topping. It was like, I said, hang on, this is going on my new menu whenever we open up again. So you don't need much. The
Yeah.
reality is you need to just be open minded. You
Yeah.
need to let go of your prefix notions, and
Yeah.
you need to play in your kitchen.
Yeah. And you need a certain amount of fearlessness. I think we
Of
get
course,
very
that's what I'm saying.
scared.
You need to let go. You
Yeah.
need to let. Who's going to check on you if we are in lockdown, guys? Even if you mess it up, who cares? There's another day to try. The lockdown's not opening for another 2 weeks at least, so you have 14 more tries.
Ritu, I want to ask a question about vegetarian and non-vegetarianism, because
Yeah.
currently there's this big debate. You know, this the time that we go completely vegetarian because look what happens if you eat everything that moves, etc., etc. But you know, what's your take on that?
I don't agree with it. I'm a vegetarian. So
Yeah.
let me first qualify that statement by saying I'm a vegetarian. I prefer to be a vegetarian, but
Right.
that's my personal choice. Okay.
But
But
you cook
saying that,
everything.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But saying that, there is no, how shall I say, theory or no proof that by eating meat or chicken or fish, you are increasing the chance of uh, COVID or any other diseases.
Right.
The way, if you're talking about Wuhan, you know, meat markets,
Yeah.
forget about anyone who's not a vegetarian. Even if an animal eats that,
Yeah.
they'll be sick.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, if people make a big story out of that,
Right.
there is going to be a huge problem with all the poultry farmers.
Yeah.
There's going to be a huge problem with all the processors. So at the end, I think cautiousness is one thing, but creating a panic is yet another thing.
Yeah.
As I said, personally, I prefer to be a vegetarian. I like being vegetarian. I also believe in Bernard Shaw, who always said you don't want your stomach to be the graveyards of the dead. But
Yes.
the thing is, the reality is, this is a choice you need to make. And because it's COVID friendly or not, that's the wrong reason. Let's put it this way:
Right.
decide to be a vegetarian, become a vegetarian for other reasons. Human beings, we don't have teeth to eat meat. The reality is, our systems are not made to eat meat.
Yeah.
Over a period of years, our systems have gotten used to it.
Right.
So let something else be a choice, but not that you will be like you will catch the Chinese virus, as our wonderful Mr. Trump likes to say.
Yes. Great. So, Ritu, what you going to make for us today?
So listen, I still have one of the shitty avocados left. I don't know. You tell me what you guys want me to do. So I've done a mousse already, but a nice cold soup
Right.
because
That's
it's very
nice.
hot here.
Yeah. Oh, it's hot everywhere, I think. Nikate, how's it in Calcutta? Is it hot there as well?
By myself. So wait. So
Okay.
can you see it?
Yes,
Hang
yes.
on. So this is, you're not going to get that. This is roasted green mango stolen from the garden.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to make a panna out of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add fresh coconut water in it, and
Okay.
add some chopped coconut to make a nice non-alcoholic margarita for myself in the evening, and spike it with vodka if you want. But so what I'm going to do is, let's do a cold soup.
Okay.
A cold avocado soup, because I have dahi.
Right.
Okay. And this cold soup, or if you want me not to do with avocado, I can do it with something else as well.
No,
We can
avocado
do
is
it. But
nice.
so, again, I'm going to do a cheater's way,
Yeah.
because normally if I would have done it, I would have added wasabi, I would have added, you know, lots of cream cheese and etc. etc. I don't have any of that bullshit. So it's going to be, so instead of cream cheese, I'm going to put dahi.
Right.
And the avocado, as I said, is not good enough to make a guacamole. So I'm going to quickly just churn it up, blend the avocado, yogurt,
Yeah.
some lemon juice, and then add one egg white. If we want, we can do it also without egg white, and some gelatin, set it up. Okay. And next day it turns into a beautiful looking mousse. Serve it with cherry tomatoes, fresh basil, and you have a starter by itself. If you don't want to set it up, you have a cold avocado soup as, again, a meal by itself.
Right.
Or you can serve it with bruschetta. But right now we don't have time to set it, so I'm going to do a
Oh,
chilled avocado
okay.
soup. Okay.
Ritu, we've just got a request from all our panelists saying, please, instead of avocado, can you use something else which is easily.
Yes, absolutely. Because I thought maybe avocado is a problem. So hang on, let's see. I'm checking in my fridge.
Yeah.
This is some cucumber there. Can you see it?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yogurt,
how many have you
can
taken?
see.
How many have you taken?
No, so I've just chopped it. Guys, I like to do everything under 5 minutes. Okay. So now the thing is, I don't know if you guys can get hold of melon. If you can, that's amazing. Not watermelon, but any other type of melon.
Okay.
I don't have it. So I'm going to, I showed you the mango,
Yeah.
the green mango, which I had roasted for my panna.
Right.
Okay. But now I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to do a green mango and a cucumber cold soup.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you see it, Kaveri?
Yes. So you put the cucumber and the green mango in the mixie, in the blender.
In a mixie with some yogurt.
Right.
Okay. Because as I said, I don't have any melon. And
Right.
now I'm going to do a little more cheating.
Yeah.
I have a little bit green chutney left with me from yesterday's lunch. Okay. Which is your regular pudina chutney or your regular hari chutney.
Right.
Okay. I'm adding a spoon of that to give it an factor.
Right.
Okay. I have stolen some basil from my garden. My mother would kill me if she was here. She would say, रात को तुलसी नहीं तोड़ते हैं, but I have done that. Okay, and I'm going to the fridge to get some ice.
Right.
So just I will repeat. I have roasted green mango.
Yeah.
I have cucumber.
Yeah.
I have yogurt.
Yeah.
I have pudina chutney.
Right.
Okay, lots of ice, salt,
Yeah.
and just a pinch of sugar. Okay,
Right.
because the thing is, green mango is tart, it's
Right.
sour.
Yeah.
So I need to make, and cucumber has a very neutral flavor.
Yeah.
So what I want this cold soup to be sour, salty, a little bit sweet, and a little bit spicy.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
hang on. I am going to blend it. It's going to be noisy.
How many cucumbers?
And again, as I said,
Ritu, how many
sorry,
cucumbers?
darling.
How many cucumbers have you taken?
So listen, for me, I've made enough for me.
So about
Okay,
3 or
because you're
4.
seeing it. So I've added, for me, for a single person, I've done 3 cucumber.
And 1 mango.
Okay, and I've done half a mango.
Half a mango. Okay.
Okay, so let's say, wait, now hold your horses.
Yeah.
Hang on. Wait. And now I am going to just season it. And who says in time of lockdown you cannot do pretty things? Okay. The simple. Now again, guys, if you want to make the same thing into a mousse, a cucumber muskmelon mousse, add a little bit of gelatin to it. If you have any cream, any fresh cheese, add to it when you're blending it and set it up. Okay, so you can use this as a soup. You can use this as if you set it up in ice cube holders. Okay, make little frozen cubes and serve it on top of a salad. Okay, so it just adds that little factor, and people will think that, wow, how much hard work you've done. But it's the same cucumber puree used in 4 different things. Oh, this is difficult talking to you, and hang on.
Someone has just asked Ritu whether we can use pudina with the cucumber and the mango.
Oh, so darling, as I said, I didn't have full idea of adding the sauce. It gives it that sharp flavor of chutney.
Yeah, right. So that makes it a little spunky.
Okay, you don't have dhania, you use whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. It really does not matter. Okay, now, no chef, even if, although you can't see it, and I could pretend how delicious it is, but I would still like to taste it. See, I should have tasted it. Salt more. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is just one more blend. It's too thick.
Okay.
The pieces of cucumber. Sorry guys, I'm multitasking. So if the video is going off. Okay. Now it's better.
Okay. So it's less thick.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now just 1 second. It's not done because you see this, you have a soup. Right. But this is just a green looking thing, which means nothing.
Right. Right.
So there are 2 things. A drizzle of olive oil. And what I had done is I had roasted some cherry tomatoes before. And what you can do is either you do sun-dried tomato on top or regular tomato, just cubed and just roasted. Here. And if you have any stale bread, just crumble it, put it in the oven and make like a crispy crumble out of it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, and that's nicest. That's what I'm doing with all my stale bread. Okay. And if you see here, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
I had made some gluten-free bread.
Right.
And what I did was I then just roasted it. And this is from last week, I think. Crumbled it, roasted it, and stored it in a, dry container. Right. And that always works wonderfully well as a garnish. Okay. Right. Not only for soup, but also on salads. So what I do is on top of salads, I use that as a crunch factor. So now let's get out in daylight. So you can see
Wow.
Hang on. How
Looks
do I show
lovely.
it to you?
No,
Let
we
me
can
see.
see. Oh, that's
Can you
lovely.
see it?
Yes, we can. We can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
And
looks so
now
nourishing, you know.
it shouldn't be. So it's, yeah. And it's delicious. As I said, it's very nice. I mean, if you serve it, no one will believe that it's made just with cucumbers. And it's really, the color's nice, the taste is very nice. The focaccia crumble just gives it, the bread crumble gives it the crunchy factor. And
Right.
it's so hot and humid here, which I'm sure so is
Yeah.
every part where your viewers are watching. It's perfect. It's great lunch or.
Yeah. Ritu, we have a couple of questions on the
Oh, I love it.
recipe.
Yeah.
How much yogurt for this proportion?
So I actually just put enough in nice, and this 2 or 3 tablespoons. I added a few ice cubes because ice cubes then turned it into a liquidy and also made it cold. So
Right.
let's put it this way: for 3 cucumber, 2 full tablespoon of yogurt.
Right.
Okay, I added half a roasted mango,
Yeah.
but I would say use a melon. I did it because I said and
Yeah.
the melon roast it before if you get a chance because it gives the soup a nice smoky flavor.
Right.
Okay, it doesn't just taste like a fruit juice then.
Right.
So melon or roasted green mango, seasoning was just salt, little bit black pepper, little bit sugar,
Yeah.
and as I said, you can add lots of pudina. And I added the pudina chutney, which has really given it an factor. Another thing you can do is instead of the bread crumble on top, you can do roasted peanuts.
Oh,
That's another great
that's
topping
nice.
for it.
Yeah. Someone is asking, do you have to roast the cucumber or just raw?
No, it was just raw. You saw, I just added, as I say, I don't like to do too much work. I'm a lazy chef. So anything that takes too much time, I don't like to do. So this was whatever I did except for the tomatoes, which was roasted, and you don't even have to roast the tomatoes. I just chopped up the cucumber when our line went off because remember I was supposed to do an avocado mousse.
Yes.
So
Yes.
didn't have time to, no.
So, with one simple thing, you can actually make such a wonderful dish, which can be your main course and your
Absolutely.
everything. I'm saying this can be your main course, this can be your soup, it can be everything. It can be
Absolutely.
one
Absolutely. And post-COVID, you can serve it in little soup shots or little shot glasses as a pass around. It's an amazing snack as a pass around as well.
Great. Nikate, do you want to test your antenna on Ritu after she's done this wonderful?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why
there's-
Please do. What are you testing, Nikate? I'm very curious.
We can test anything.
Oh, wonderful.
We can
So,
test if this soup will work for you or not.
okay, tell me. Okay, wonderful. Tell me.
Okay, so we can test anything. Okay, so it could be a jap, it could be a mantra, it could be anything, it could be food. So if I'm testing Ritu's axis over here now, I'm taking it from the video. Yeah, okay, so axis is over here. You see the antenna is moving.
right.
Okay, now can you keep the soup in your hand?
Wait. Wait. Oh, this is exciting.
It's
I wish I'd known this before.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So see the axis is aligned. So this soup is
wow.
good for you.
Oh, good.
So you can do a small test if you like. While
Yeah.
you're holding the soup, take a breath. No, not like that. Gentle.
Acha.
Feel the breath. Feel it.
Anapana style.
Yeah. Just relax and feel the breath. The ease with which the breath is going.
Yeah.
Okay, now leave the soup aside.
Okay.
Now breathe again. Don't touch the soup.
Okay.
Is there a difference?
Well, when I had the soup in my hand, I could smell the basil and there was a nice smell coming from the soup.
Yeah, the smell, but the breath. Is it easier to breathe when you were holding the soup?
To
Slightly.
be honest,
Very slight difference.
didn't realize it. I'm so overexcited by this test of yours that I wasn't paying attention.
No, but the fact of the matter is that whenever we are stressed out, it will
Yeah.
affect the breathing. So it
No,
affects our
but that
physiology.
is true. When I'm
Yeah.
stressed, My
Yeah,
breathing is more difficult. This I have noticed.
exactly. So then if we can put a strategy in place
Yeah.
to get ourselves into alignment,
Hmm.
so we can actually test what is creating stress in our system and what is working for us.
Oh, I know what is creating stress in my system right now. The world around me. Well, Niket, I need to have a chat with your sister separately. I want to
Yeah,
really see you and explore this a bit more.
yeah, we can. No problem. Anytime.
So, Nikit, what kind of sound therapy would work, say, for Ritu right now?
No, see now you're talking about specifics, right? So now the basic point here is that if you want, you can use sound in various ways.
Yeah.
So you can do a jap, you can do a mantra, you can do a hum for that matter.
Right.
You can, I mean, play a tune in your head. That will also work.
Right.
So it depends on what will work for you. It's as
Right.
simple as that. Now
Right.
Ritu's disappeared. Yeah. So
No, no.
yeah, you have to see what will work for you. And it's a matter of becoming aware of what is the effect on your body,
Right.
what is the effect on you, whether it is helping you or not.
Hmm.
So the proof of the pudding is in eating and tasting the pudding, right? You may make a nice
Yes.
dish, it may look very nice, but if it doesn't
Yes.
taste nice, then there's no point of the dish.
So,
So
Nikit, for instance, if I were to chant the Mrityunjay mantra, and
yeah,
you said that it may not work for me, it may work
correct.
for someone else.
Yeah. So
How how would
if
I
we
know?
test you, let's see whether your axis is aligned or not. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not aligned. Yeah, it's
Huh.
pretty out. Okay, it's literally 90 degrees off just now.
My God, look at this.
Yeah. So you are pretty stressed out.
Okay.
So
I
Oh.
join Ritu wherever she is.
Huh? What
Ritu is
did you
less
say?
stressed than you. But yeah, but then okay, now chant the mantra.
Okay, so Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam
No, it's not working at all for
Look
you.
at a
Still same.
Parsi. अब ये पारसी लड़की महामृत्युंजय जाप करेगी तो उसकी
Aha.
pronunciation सुने.
Correct,
हाँ?
correct. Ekdam. So that's what I said, that if you're not going to pronounce it properly, then it doesn't
Right.
work.
Okay.
I had an interesting experience once.
Ah,
So I had gone to this person who was on oxygen 24/7,
ah,
and we were testing his axis. His axis was out, it was like totally knocked out.
ah,
So I said that, okay, maybe a jap will work for you.
right.
So we started with a jap for, I mean, just remembering the gods and goddesses,
Right.
etc.
Right.
So we started with Hanumanji, Durgaji, everyone we went, and
Ah.
nothing was aligning him.
Like me.
Then suddenly he said that I'm a Jain.
Ah,
So belief system starts to come in.
ah,
What Ritu just mentioned.
right.
So then I told him, okay, start remembering your Tritankaras.
Okay.
And as soon as he started remembering the Tritankaras, there was one Tritankara in which, as soon as he remembered that Tritankara, the axis aligned. So
Okay.
I said that if there is any jap or any kind of a prayer associated with that Tritankara, you
Okay.
start doing that.
Right.
So, and then it turned out I asked him that is there any book written by that Tritankara?
Right.
So then what we did was he had a book. So we put a book on his hand
Yeah.
written by that Tritankara and his axis aligned.
Okay.
So I said that now, keep the book with you.
Ah.
So it will help you. Or do
Sorry,
anything
was
that
my
is,
axis aligned or not? I forgot.
Your
was
access
slightly
was
out.
aligned.
The cucumber soup aligned your axis.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Okay. So just let me complete this. So, so then what ultimately happened was
Huh?
it turned out that he had the same problem few years previously, and
Okay.
someone had told him to remember or do the work with that same Tritankara, and he had got cured.
Oh.
And once he got cured, he left it, and
Okay.
he came back with that same issue.
Okay.
So it's all based on vibrations, right? Every sound has a vibratory frequency.
Right.
So if you're going to use the correct frequency,
Right.
it can balance you. Basically, that's the game.
Okay. So, and how do you decide what music to listen to calm yourself down? Again, it depends on what you're used to, or
See, now again, all music has a certain effect.
right,
You have to be able to assess and understand for yourself whether it's working for you or not.
right,
I would always do a test. because I have the means.
Yeah.
So I would test which sound will work for you. So we did some studies. We did a study in a dyslexic center where in dyslexia, what happens is you're 1:1. You're dealing with 1:1 teachers. We just added sound. We added a hemisync frequency.
Right.
The Monroe Institute technology is called hemisphere synchronization.
Right.
Okay, where we have two sides of the brain. The two sides start to get synchronized.
Right.
When we are using that technology. So we just started using music, and I was testing for each of the students which track would work for them.
Right.
And we had very phenomenal results in
Right.
the process.
Right.
So again, you have to test which sound would work for you.
Right. So basically with Ritu, what works for her is when she's surrounded by her cooking, by her food.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Ritu, do you listen to music when you cook?
Oh, lots, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So for me, if I wasn't a chef, I always say I would have been a very good DJ. I can't sing to save my life. I cannot sing, but that has never stopped me. So I will sing at my loudest in the bathroom when no one can listen to me. But I think I don't know anything about this alignment, nothing. But I truly actually believe I cook better when I have music behind me.
Right.
There's something, there's obviously, there is a thing when I'm humming around and whatever. But and coming back to whether cooking makes my axis is aligned or not, again, this is something that's happened in these days.
Yeah.
You see, cooking had become a job for me.
Right.
It was a job. It is a job.
Yeah.
You know, the pleasure of cooking came back once again because I wasn't doing it because I had to serve X many customers,
Right.
but I was doing it purely for the pleasure of it.
Right.
And when you can listen to nice music, when you can sing along, when you can, it's a different ball game altogether. It's completely a different ball game.
Right. And
Yeah, so-
sorry.
So music will definitely change the way that you're doing things.
Right.
And it's been there in all cultures. It's been there. I mean, you know, when the farmers are sowing the seeds, they sing along.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
actually transforms you. It's there in all cultures.
Yeah.
Singing, chanting. For example, when we
Yeah.
are doing chanting,
Yeah.
it automatically creates that resonance. It creates that frequency which is there.
Correct.
So basically, when you look at hemisync as a technology, it works
Yeah.
on, you know, you play one sound in one ear and a
Yeah.
slightly different sound in the other ear. And that distinction between the two sounds create a third sound inside your head. Now, when you're chanting, basically what's happening? One person is singing at a particular level and the other person is singing at a slightly different level. And when it hits that frequency and it takes you into an altered state of consciousness.
Right.
So that's why chanting is there in all cultures.
Right. We have a couple of questions for you, Nikate. One is,
Yeah.
does Om chanting work in the same way? Because it's supposed to calm down the person chanting or listening to it. But personally, I've never had any such results.
Okay, so again, the way that you're chanting makes a big difference. Okay.
Right.
Now, there are various ways in which you can chant Om also. And there are various schools of thought vis-a-vis how you can chant Om.
Right.
So some people say that there are three sections to Om. It's
Right.
the U, and then the Ma.
Right.
Some people say that there is a gentleman in America, he's done a lot of work with micro chakras. He
Right.
says that in the morning, you should chant the more,
Right.
the Om more, U more, and the Ma less. In the evening, it's little different. Now, also the way you chant it, from where you chant it, okay, I can do a so I can do it from various places. Where it works for you, if you can become consciously aware as to what it is doing inside you, whether it's creating that the vibration in your system and taking you into a state of peace and harmony, whether it's being able to do that or not, that is a feeling. So the more you can assess your bodily feeling, the better it is for you to be able to assess what is actually working for you.
We have another question from Neha Perival. Is there any music or link that is universally good for everyone? Something that would share, that you can share, which would help calm all of us in such times?
Okay, I think hemisync works. The hemisync, the Monroe Institute music works for everyone. You were hearing a track just before we started. I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah. Okay. So
So,
that
but
works well.
having said that, what I have found is that every person is slightly different.
Right.
So something will suit someone better and something will suit someone a little less. But
Right.
I find that when you are listening to music,
Yeah.
any music that takes you into an altered state,
Right.
that is good music for you. So you
Okay.
should go with your feeling, because some people like jazz, some people like classical music, some people like Western music, some people like, I mean, Hindi songs,
Right.
or some people like bhajans.
Hmm.
So you have to actually be universally, I cannot say that everything, there's some music which will suit everyone.
Great. One last question for you, Niket, from Ganesh R. I lost my father a year and a half ago. After that, I've not been as focused on my work and myself as I was. I was very fast, active, but not so now. How do I focus? How do I go back to the original me with no doubt of my belief? No doubt in my belief.
So, see, now this is a question which is taking me to the Monroe workshops.
Right.
Uh, I mean, that was not on the agenda, but this question definitely leads to that.
Right.
We can experience various states of consciousness.
Right.
And in some of these states of consciousness which you are taken to in the Monroe process,
Yeah.
you can actually connect with those that have passed.
Okay.
And we've had many experiences here where they passed on parents, grandparents, friends. They come, appear, and they actually commune with the person.
Right.
It's all a matter of brainwave patterns. Okay, what state of mind are you in? Whether you are open to receiving that communication or not,
Right.
because everything is always present in the universe. Nothing ever gets lost.
Right.
So you can actually communicate with them. I would invite, I think it's Ganesh, I would invite you to join our 4 o'clock meditations. We have for every day at 4 o'clock, at least during this lockdown period, we are having meditation every day. If you can connect, I don't know if, can I give my number there?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so my number is 98300 32777.
Yeah.
98300.
Yeah.
I'll just type it here.
Yeah. I think we'll all use it.
Yeah, so if you all can, if you send me a message, I can add you to the groups that we formed, and you can join the 4 o'clock meditation. I'm sure you'll feel a difference. I'm sure you'll feel a difference.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ritu. It's been
My
wonderful.
pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Niket. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
meeting you.
Pleasure
You are
meeting
not
you
seeing
too.
the last of me, for sure.
I'm not a foodie, okay? So I'm
No,
really
your
not a
sister,
foodie.
your sister makes up for it. It's okay. One is enough in the family.
I
Okay.
eat what I get. So
Good.
yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, both.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Kaveri. Thank you so
Thank you,
much. Thank you,
Kaveri.
everyone.
Take care.
Pleasure.
Bye. And I'm
Thank
going
you
to
so
try
much.
that cucumber soup. Bye.
Yes.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Please like our social media handles and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the bell icon.